Well, Candace, this is your host for the Rodcast Mobile Podcast, where we have conversations with motivated people for the purpose of motivating people. I'm here with Candace, and you're a coach, and you've been doing it for like quite some time.
Yeah,
And
5 years.
5 years. And well, like, tell me, what do you like about what you do?
I've been a coach for 5 years. I'm an empowerment and a leadership coach.
Okay.
And I love helping people and helping them tap into their inner knowing, their superpower.
The superpower.
Their superpower.
Okay.
I work with mostly, we'll call it successful, ambitious women who, let's say, they look at their life, it looks great on paper, but their soul is craving more. That's my sweet spot. But
Okay.
I also work with leaders and teams, and I do performance and leadership coaching with a company called the 3Es.
Oh, okay. And so, like, do you get to see the effects of like what happens when you coach people? Because I think, like, for me, when it comes to like teaching and training and helping somebody work on getting better at something, when I see the effects of, hey, you know what you said, it worked for me. You know, when I see that from people, you know, they wind up telling me, well, yeah, you told me how to do things this way and it worked out. Like, do you get that type of reward?
Absolutely. That's the most rewarding thing, is watching someone thrive. And I work with people. I generally recommend at least 3 months. My program is 3 months to begin with.
Okay.
And so you have a chance to really dive into the work and integrate it into your life, and then see and make an impact.
Okay.
So I get to see what happens after. In fact, yesterday, one of my very first client from like right at the beginning when I started, she called me, and she was just telling me all about her new relationship and how excited she is and how grateful she is that she worked with me. She found her words. She learned how to love herself more, and she manifested this incredible relationship with this new boyfriend and partner. She was so excited. And I was like, this is such great timing. I love hearing this. Going on a business trip tomorrow. About to do a leadership summit. Oh my God, that's the perfect place for you. I was like, thank you for telling me that I've helped you and impacted your life. It makes me feel good. That's my living in my purpose.
That's good. That's good. So you still keep in contact with people just to check up on them, I guess, like just to make sure that they're doing well.
I'm like I said, you can work with me for a chunk of time, but if you're my client, once my client, always my client. I'm constantly like, I want to check in with people and see if they need a reboot. They just want to share good news.
Do you now? I don't know if this is a crazy question. Do you ever host like, I guess, like annual events for everybody that has been a client of yours to go to as a group?
I haven't started that yet, but I'm gonna start doing retreats where that would be something that, like, if you coach with me before, you'll be able to attend. That hasn't happened yet. I do more quarterly summits and things like that, and a lot of it's mostly online right now. But I do want to do an in-person retreat where we get everyone together and people that are current clients or past clients have come.
So, like, what's some things that you feel like have been difficult for you as far as like coaching and training people?
You know, like all things that are people focused and support people and not businesses only, it's hard to get going, and it's a challenge to be an entrepreneur, which is why I work so well with them. So I've been the ups and downs of supporting people and trying to grow my business and support myself and my family. That's that's been going on for a long time. That's the only thing that's hard, is the piece by piece, client by client, building the practice, building the referrals. It takes time and energy and money, and so it's hard to be bootstrapping your own business, but I wouldn't have it any other way because I love what I do.
That's good. That's good. Do you find it more difficult to teach people who are like more knowledgeable?
No.
Interesting.
No, not at all. I feel like
change the way that their original thinking is. If like the more actual schooling that they're going to do, stuff like that.
Well, I mean, there's certainly that chance that you're going to get someone that's really stuck in their ways.
Mm-hmm.
But generally, the people that I work with or the people that end up choosing me to work with them, are people that are growth oriented and they've tried it their way and it's not working, so they're sort of down on their knees trying to figure out another way, and they're looking for someone to help them find that way and break through.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that's the difference with coaching, and that's why it's when someone's willing to commit for like 3 months and invest in themselves, they're sort of open and ready to do anything.
Now, do you think 3 months is long enough, or does it vary depending on the business and the person?
It totally varies, but that's like the minimum.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not like you go one session and you're done and you're ready and you have your plan and your action and you're unblocked and all motivated to move forward and change.
Mm-hmm.
Change takes time, so at least 3 months. But I mean, I've worked with people for up to a year and a half, and then I have returning clients that just like go about their life, go about their business, and then they come back when they get stuck or they need a reboot.
That's good.
Reframe. Yeah.
So, like, where do you see the business going, like, as far as moving forward in the future?
I want to help as many people as possible. So, I would love to continue to. I have two sides of my business. I told you for this company called the 3Es. We work with leaders and teams.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that's just starting. There's just so many companies that are looking to invest in their culture and their people. So.
And what's the other side?
And the other side is my one-on-one practice, and it's coaching just directly per person with people.
Oh, okay. So, all right. I apologize. I must have been confused. I thought it was the same business, but it's different sides to, I guess, like the same coin?
I'm a coach for both.
Oh, okay.
But I work with individuals, and then I also work with this other entity, coach company, and we work with teams and leaders. So I feel like the growth is supporting as many people as possible. I'm scaling right now. Like I'm about to start doing a couple of workshops for my personal, for my coaching business, and then just out there wanting to impact more teams and cultures and meeting the people and hoping that's gonna keep growing.
So for this one that you're going for, I guess it's today or tomorrow?
That's today and tomorrow and the next day. Yeah.
What is the main subject of your focus?
This company brought us on to help them with their 10-year goals.
Okay.
And so we're focusing the teams, the leadership parts of the team, and we're getting into like what the plan looks like and how we can help them get out of their own way and put more resources and time and energy into the things that are working and create some things that are getting done. So we're just sort of helping them uncover and unearth the way forward so they can meet their goals.
So let me ask you, I don't know if this is a stupid question or not. Is it better to start with the 10th year and then work your way backwards?
Sometimes you definitely have to have a plan and a goal. So this is more like they have strategies for the year, right?
Mm-hmm.
But they're looking at in 10 years they want to be here, and we're helping them get there.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I guess it would vary depending on the business.
It
the
definitely
type
varies,
of business.
but I mean every business should have like a 5-year plan.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure. Like you should be looking at like obviously your 1-year plan, but then where do you want to be in year 2, 3, 4, and 5? That's definitely helpful in navigating what we call winter, which is kind of what's happening in our economy right now. But yeah.
So what is a person to do for like things that just spring up out of nowhere, like that could seem to at least thwart their plans?
Meaning, are you talking about like
something that could, yeah,
business?
Yeah, and as far as the business is concerned, like let's say something just comes up out of nowhere that they wasn't expecting, that they didn't think would happen, but it kind of derails their plan for their 5-year plan.
Absolutely. Like always eye on the prize and just like re-strategize and like lean in. So that happens constantly. It's happened with my business for the past 14 years, for sure. The plan and the goals are important, and being really mindful and consistent in the goal planning and in the tracking and like seeing how you're doing. But it's not really about making that goal every month, every 3 months, every year. It's about making progress and tracking it. And so you can like double down on the things that you're seeing are making the impact and the shifts that you want in your business, and then you can not focus on the things that aren't really moving the needle. So it's just a way to measuring giving yourself measurable SMART goals and then working against them over time. Whatever that is, whatever that business is, and how that's the World Trade Center. Interesting. So yeah, I mean, making our goals, obviously, making our numbers is like important, but Rome wasn't built in a day. So
that's true.
You gotta start somewhere.
That is true. That is true. So, like, as far as like your personal coaching, like what would you say is the most difficult challenge you had to overcome with the individual? And like, what steps did you take to overcome it? And did it come to something that was resolved, or did you ultimately have to say, you know what, I can't work with this person, or like this situation will never work out? Because I could imagine at some point in time something like that could come about, right?
Yes. People, I love the medieval times is right there. I have worked with people that, hold on one second.
Oh, good.
We're going to Bob's for dinner.
Okay.
What's Bob's?
That's fine.
It's a steakhouse?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So, I had a client that was so I'm also a marketer. That was my brand marketer, been in marketing like most of my career. And then the last 5 years, I've also added coaching to my repertoire.
Okay.
So, one of my clients is kind of the reason that I became a coach, but she never wants to do what she hires you to do. It's always been like that. And at one point I was like, well, I don't think I can work with this person because she hires me to be the expert, keep giving her all the strategies, and then as a coach, all the tools, and she's still not doing it. All right. So 2 things. One is I had to like let that go.
Okay.
I had to let that go because I was holding on to that and I was frustrated, and it was like seeping into my personal peace and my personal space. I was taking it personally. So I had to learn the hard way. You can only control what you can control. And then also I realized that you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. So that's why I say, like, when people choose me, they're really the kind, my ideal client is someone that's like ready to do the work, is the kind of person that's like just needs to understand where their blocks are or what the strategy is, and then they just show up and they just need some accountability and some mindset training. Like, but there's some people that just, that's how they're wired. That they constantly are looking outside of themselves to like for the things that they know already. And some people don't want to change, and that's just part of being a coach and a consultant, realizing that like you're going to work with some people that are going to totally dive in and take what you have and make it useful for them, and then there's some people that are just going to do the same thing they always do, which is like spend money on
pointless things
on their business, thinking they're getting support, and then do what they want to do anyway. You can't, you can only do as much as you can do. So my goal is to empower people to like get out of their own way, and then there's a lot of honesty involved in that. There's like saying to the person, I've given you this, I've told you this, do you want to change, or do you want to meet your goals, because you're not acting like it right now. That's how I handle that one.
Understandable. I mean, one of the hardest things for people to do, especially if they have habits that they've been learning year after year, if those are bad habits, is breaking those habits. I've discovered, a lot of times, especially that's why I asked about the education, because when people get when it gets drilled into people's head that this is the way that you have to do certain things, it's hard for people to get out of that way of thinking, that sort of programming. And so, yeah, in certain cases like that, someone would have to, I believe, rewire their mind and rewire their thinking so that they could be able to say, hey, you know what, I need to do something different. I need to have a different result.
Right. I mean, that is the coaching industry. And I've had to get my own coaches to do that at times.
So you have your own coaches?
I do have my own coaches.
Okay.
I really believe in coaching. I really believe in the power of our minds, and I also believe in, like, it takes a village, and sometimes we need to learn different tools and other people's superpowers to get out of our own way. I've done a lot of different, like, growth and mindfulness and therapy, all kinds of things, and sometimes that will help the situation that I'm in, and sometimes coaching is where it's at, like figuring out how to, like, sometimes it's more,
It feels good helping people, right?
oh, it feels so good helping people.
But it also, like, sometimes you need to be coached yourself, and I can agree with that. That's why I think that that's a good thing, that you yourself not only are a coach, but like you have a coach as well,
She's
because
amazing.
and that gives you somebody that can lead by example, and you can lead people into becoming coaches themselves.
Yep.
Because you're speaking at this conference, you have nothing but leaders already here, so they're going to have to learn how to coach people themselves. And
Yeah.
it's one thing to teach somebody how to do something, but to teach them how to teach someone to do something is a whole nother animal. And I used to do that when it comes to sales and teaching people and training people in sales. That, yeah, I could teach somebody how to sell something, but can I teach them to teach someone to sell someone?
Right.
Making yourself duplicatable.
Yeah. That's a whole other skill set.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We call that the telling somebody the what and the why,
Mm-hmm.
and then also the how.
Yeah.
The how.
So is there anything that you would like to add or anything like that?
No, I'm just excited to be in Dallas. Thanks for having me on your show. This has been fun.
This is wonderful.
If you want to find out more information, for example, follow me. I'm on Instagram, Candice Maskell, CANDICEMASKELL __.
Okay. And we'll have that information inside the information bar, as well as the book recommendations for everybody. And for anything else that you want to add? Or?
CandiceMaskell.com. Come and sign up for my newsletter and get a little bite-sized breath of fresh air and a little bit of reality check while you're at it. That's what I call my newsletter. So, yeah, cool.
Oh, wonderful. Well, everybody take care. Thank you.
Cool. Thanks.
Yeah.